What's up, everybody? So, a little bit of an update. I want you guys to check out my Discord. I currently have nobody adding me. I currently have nobody wanted to talk to me, and nobody wanted to be my friend. I'm still waiting to see if anybody wants to challenge me as far as me debating this goes. But if you're a Jordan fan, please, I'll put my Discord right up here. If you got something to say to me, go ahead. We can set up a time, we can set up a date, and we can go ahead and debate it. If you feel like I'm wrong, if you feel like I'm stupid, make me look stupid. Make me look like I don't know ball. I'm just a nitpicking guy that doesn't know what he's talking about. So, with that being said, today I want to respond to 3 comments that were in my comment section of my last video talking about Jordan versus LeBron and why I feel LeBron is the GOAT. We're going to go ahead and do this like we did last time with the Scab Attack video. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to dissect each and every single one. Now, I will say off the rip, the first comment that I'm going to start with, it's more on the respectful side. They say they got LeBron 2. They just feel a certain type of way about me having him 1, and they are a Jordan fan. Now, the reason I'm picking the comment, though, is not because he has LeBron 2. One thing I want you guys to understand is if you have LeBron James 2, I'm probably, for the most part, never going to want to debate you because I'm never going to care to. I'm not mad if you have LeBron 2. Never will I be mad if you have LeBron 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? When it comes to LeBron, if you have him at 2 through 5, I'm cool with you, okay? It's the people that usually have LeBron ranked at like 100 when you got comments like this one.
Is he top 50 in your opinion?
No, he's not.
100.
Not even top 100. I cannot put him over anybody. You can name a whole 1990s rosters. He's Sean Kemp. That is exactly who LeBron is. He's Sean.
Those are the people I have beef with. But the reason I'm responding to this guy's comment is because I do feel like there are some inaccuracies in it, so I want to bring them up. So let's go ahead and go over it. So, this person says, Jordan fan here. This is absolutely one of the best arguments for LeBron I've ever heard, but simply for me, he's a far away 2 on my all-time list. Here's why. Yes, not all of LeBron's losses should be held against him. 2017, 2018, and 2007 shouldn't be brought up as much as they are. But 2011 and 2014, he shouldn't have any excuses, but he's the direct reason for those losses. So, first and foremost, I will say that the 2011 NBA Finals, LeBron did not play well, okay? He played horrendous. It's one of the finals that probably is going to be the biggest blemish on his record and the biggest reason that people will continue to have this debate in the first place. I am fully of the opinion that if 2011 never happens, then this debate is not as much of a debate amongst most people. But that's just my opinion, and obviously I can't absolutely prove that. But as far as 2014 goes, I'm going to disagree about that one, and here's why. Because if we look at LeBron James, right, he averaged 28 points per game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, okay? And in that series, he was shooting 57%. If we go ahead and look at Dwayne Wade, he was averaging 43% from the field. 15 points, 3 rebounds, or 4 rebounds, 2.6 assists in 5 games with 3.6 turnovers to LeBron's 3.8. So when I look at 2014 and I go, what was the biggest reason for that loss? I feel like overall as a team, they just didn't play as well as the Spurs did. And let's not act like that Spurs team was not great, because they were. That Spurs team, arguably that year, especially, now get it, there are highlights, but they're insane. All year, they had the amazing ball movement. The Spurs ball movement, that year, it was just insane. Okay, so it was a good team that beat another good team. But to say like, oh, LeBron's the reason they lost, I'm not jiving with that one, buddy. I'm not going to agree with that one. That's just my opinion. But let's continue with your quote. Now, you keep this going by saying also in 07, he shit his pants there too because the Spurs would have won anyway, but I'll give him that pass. So, yeah, LeBron did not play well in 2007, but 2 key things that need to be factored in here. One, he was 22 years old. That is a big reason. Age is everything. And when it comes to LeBron James being at the age of 22, being on a roster that wasn't as good, yeah, I'm not shocked that he didn't play as well, especially when he was the main main component to that Spurs defense as far as holding the team down. Now, if we look at the roster, as I bring up that roster, I'm going to keep it a beam with you guys. Can we really say that anyone had a good series? I guess if you really want to say Drew Gooden, maybe. But I'm not really going to go off and die on the hill of, yeah, LeBron's the main reason this team lost when it seems like the rest of the team shit the bed. If you're saying LeBron shit the bed, then the rest of the team had diarrhea on it because I don't think anyone really played well. Now, you go on to say, Jordan never had a serious meltdown in the series where you can say he's the reason he lost. Take the 86 Celtics as example. Jordan was in the same situation as LeBron in 07. Both had a trash-ass team and clearly stood no chance, but Jordan averaged 40 and dropped the highest scoring game in NBA history while getting swept, and Bron averaged 18 while shooting 35%. So, two things. So the first things first. LeBron averaged 22 points per game. He didn't average 18. Now, I know this may feel like a nitpick, but if we're going to sit here and talk about facts, stats, and that of the matter, I feel like we have to be honest when we do so. Listen, if you want to say that Jordan's team was not as good, I'm not going to argue with you there. But to act like his team was just straight, like there was nobody on there, they're all ass, I wouldn't say all that. Orlando Woolridge was a dog, Charles Oakley was a dog, and John Paxson was a dog, okay? And not only that, if we go ahead and look at the team totals, okay, Jordan's team averaged more in blocks. Jordan's team averaged more in steals, assists, points per game, field goal percentage, and free throw percentage. The only thing LeBron's team averaged more in was 3-point percentage and assist. And it's not just if you want to say, well, that's because of Jordan. He averaged everything. That's not even true. Jordan had a very high points average per game. That is true. But as you can see, Woolridge had 21 points per game, followed up by 12 points per game, followed up by 10 points per game, followed up by 9 points per game. And I could go with assists, I could go with rebounds, I could go with steal. It's quite obvious that Jordan's team played better than LeBron's team by every metric. And I'm sorry, I lied to you. I promised I won't do that again, okay? But you said that Jordan never had a series where he played bad. That's not true. Jordan against the Orlando Magic, Game 1, missed 2 free throws with 1:30 left to tie the game. Like we don't have the footage?
Shaquille away from the play. Michael Jordan shot 80% in a 17-game return during the regular season. He's 2 of 3 here today.
And Phil Jackson is very much concerned about Hardaway. Has gone big now. Pete Myers in the ballgame. It'll either be Jordan, Pippen, or Myers. Watching Hardaway.
Oh, Jordan misses on both.
Not only did he miss 2 free throws to tie the game, he had the ball turned over with a steal to have Orlando take the lead.
And a costly pass thrown by Dennis Scott in a crowd that was picked off by the Bulls. And Jordan spinning his way against Anderson.
And not only did he have the ball stolen from him, he turned the ball over with 9 seconds left in the game to end the game.
Tony Kukoc will throw in. Jordan played by Royal. Jordan for Pippen.
And against that same Magic team, Jordan shot 8 for 19 and had 5 turnovers against the Magic. And, okay, back in 86 against the Celtics and in 87, he had bad turnovers and had bad shooting. He shot 35%. 8 for 22 with 5 turnovers in 86. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's the main reason for their loss in 86 and 87. Overall, it just was not a good team, and they were going to lose to the Celtics anyway. But if we're going to sit here and act like Jordan is just unapproachable, this is what I was talking about in my video. It's this mystique of Jordan. Like, we don't have to tape. Like, I didn't just show you what I showed you. He played bad against the Magic. They lost. He even took credit for that loss and said he didn't play as well as he thought he should have. Even though he went on earlier in that season and said the Magic is not a problem. That's why Magic fans were holding signs that said the Magic is not a problem. Quote by Michael Jordan. So, let's not act like Jordan didn't have a bad series ever. That's not true. He did. We saw that. He did. We know this. We have the tape. We have the stats. This is a fact. So in your comments, when you said LeBron averaged 18 a game, that was not true. When you went on to say that Jordan never had a trash series, that's also not true. We are able to point both of these out and realize that it's not true. This is not me attacking you as a person. Maybe you just didn't know this. Maybe you didn't think to look it up. But at the end of the day, we have the tape. We have the stats. We have the footage. Okay? LeBron had a bad series. He didn't average 18. He averaged 22. It's good to be factual about these things. Jordan had a bad series. He played bad, okay? He did not have a great game every single game. He played bad in game 1, terrible, cost him the game, and played again bad in game 6. He did not play well. So let's not act like Jordan was just great overall. And in that series against Orlando, he had high turnovers. So this is important. All this is important when we're talking about this in continuity. But let's keep going with your comment. Now, continuing with your comments, okay? You said that, just want to throw out the fact that LeBron missed the playoffs entirely more than Jordan did, and he lost in the first round just as much as Jordan did. Legally speaking, did LeBron James miss the playoffs more than Michael Jordan? The answer is yes. But I'm curious. I am curious. If we go ahead and look at these seasons that LeBron missed, what seasons did LeBron miss? Now, LeBron missed 4 seasons in the NBA playoffs. 4 total. In those seasons, his team had 35 games. That was his rookie year. They increased by 18 games as soon as they added him. That should be pointed out. 42 games. They missed the playoffs with a tiebreaker. 37 games. He was injured and missed 27 games. That was with the Lakers. And 33 games. Again, that was with the Lakers. That whole team was dysfunctional, and again with injury. So 2 with the Lakers and 2 with Cleveland. If you guys are wondering, why am I bringing up game totals? Why do we care that the Lakers won 33 games, 37 games, 42 games, and 35 games? Well, let's look at Jordan's first 3 years. 40 games. 30 games. 38 games. Jordan missed the playoffs twice. But if he was playing in the modern NBA, he would have missed the playoffs 5 times. At least by these numbers, considering that LeBron missed the playoffs when he won 42 games, 37 games, and 35. Jordan got in when he won 30, 38, and 40. Everyone wants to tell me all the time how unbelievably hard the East was for Jordan and how unbelievably easy the East was for LeBron. But he missed the playoffs winning 42. Almost got in with a tiebreaker, but missed the playoffs with 42 games. And Jordan gets in winning 30. So when we're sitting here and we're talking about, LeBron missed the playoffs more than Jordan. Jordan missed it twice. He missed it so much more than Jordan. 4 times, by the way. 4 times, by the way. So much more. So much more. 4 times, by the way. And he lost just as many times in the first round. He didn't up until this year, but that's the technicality I was bringing up earlier. You're right. So legally speaking, you're right. LeBron missed the playoffs more than Jordan. I'm not going to say a whole lot more than Jordan, but you know what? Technically speaking, yeah, 50% more than Jordan. That's a lot. Okay? And he lost in first round just as much. Okay, I'll give you that. But if you really want to back on the whole playoff thing, I don't know if that's the best argument you want to use. If you really want to say, yeah, I want to use the fact that LeBron missed the playoffs 4 times and Jordan only missed it twice. But I also want to ignore the fact that Jordan got into the playoffs his first 3 years, winning 40 games, 30 games, and 38. That doesn't matter to me. If that doesn't matter to you, I'll leave it at that. Let's move on. Now, you went on to say Jordan's DPOY wasn't a stat-based award. Rodman won back-to-back DPOYs without averaging a single steal or block. Even if Jordan's stats were faked, when you watch him play, he was an absolute nightmare on ball, and he was always in the passing lanes and a shot block threat off the ball as well. Huh? I'm not even going to argue with you, bro. Because you are right. Dennis Rodman did win Defensive Player of the Year twice without averaging a steal and a block when he ended up winning. Back in the day, I understand shit was shifty. This is why I argue with people when they say that the NBA draft was rigged for the Mavs. First of all, why would they rig it for the Mavs? Second of all, the lottery system is not like it was when it was rigged for the Knicks to get Ewing. Back when it was rigged for the Knicks to get Ewing, this is a little bit of NBA history for you guys. They made it a cold envelope, so they knew what envelope to pick after they spun it. Nowadays, with the NBA lottery, they have a separate person who's not spinning the wheel, another person who is spinning the wheel, 1,001 balls in there, and they keep spinning the wheel. As soon as he stops, a ball goes ahead and like a lottery system, okay? They spin, and the person over here, randomly, he could wait 10, it doesn't matter, he randomly says stop, and then the guy stops, and the ball goes. So, unless they did a Houdini act, they didn't cheat for Dallas, okay? The NBA is a lot more reputable now than it was back in the day, like I said, with the Patrick Ewing thing, and the DPLY thing was kind of weird. But I'm just going to point out the fact that you said, well, even if his stats were faked, who cares? He still was a defensive menace. Fair. He might have been. But I just want to bring up the fact that if that story released about LeBron James, and it wasn't Michael Jordan, it was LeBron James instead, fans would be throwing hissy fits. They already think everything's rigged for LeBron anyway with no proof. They already think everything's rigged for the man. Now imagine if they had an article to actually back it up of statisticians and analysts that actually sat down and watched his games to prove that it was actually being lied by the home scorekeeper on his stats. Oh my God. That's all I want to say. No pictures or anything like that to really attack the bit of that comment. That's all I want to say about that is I do think everyone knows, and even if let that be LeBron James' name on that article and not Michael Jordan, shit, I'd never hear the end of it. Now let's move on to the next portion of your comment. He also has more individual trophies than LeBron. Does Jordan has 22 trophies? I think LeBron is at 16. That is true. Jordan has more individual trophies than LeBron James. But LeBron James also has more playoff records, has more All-Star appearances, and has more All-NBA selections. So while it be true that individually, Jordan has more, I'm still going to point to the fact that LeBron won 16 and has more of what I said already, playoff records, All-Star appearances, All-NBA selections. It may be true that Jordan has more individual awards. But everybody knows that the era that LeBron is in, for him to have the amount of records that he have, is incredibly impressive considering the level of competition. But let's move on to your next. Now, lastly, you said, also for finals opponent strength, Jordan's opponents average 61.2 wins per season, and Bron's opponents average 60.8 wins. So outside of the 16 Warriors as an outlier, they are pretty comparable. Okay, so here are two things that I don't think is actually fair to look at. One, you want to say outside of the Warriors, okay? We don't want to count that. It was a finals opponent. Why wouldn't we count that? If you don't want to count that, are you not counting the lockout season that LeBron faced the Thunder in? Are you not counting the bubble season where the Heat had 44 games because of the shortened season that ended up happening? I feel like these are two key things to bring up if you want to bring up win total. I don't even think that matters, but again, context matters with everything. So if you're going to bring up the fact that, they averaged about 61.2 and LeBron's averaged around 60.8. So really, it's not really comparable when you take out that Warriors team as well because it's an outlier. Okay, that Warriors team that he went to the finals again 4 times in a row. And the lockout season in 2012. And in 2020 when there was a shortened season because of COVID. These are important. And win totals, okay, as far as team goes, it's not even the strongest argument either. Because Dennis Rodman said it himself. When they had the expansion, he felt like they could beat anybody with their eyes closed. He probably wasn't the only one that felt that way. The league was watered down and filtered. Players felt that way, and it wasn't just Dennis Rodman. And it was watered down because when you have expansion teams and you dwindle down the talent to different teams, of course it's going to be watered down. It's going to take time for the talent to build up, especially when you're adding so many teams at once. And not just that. I have a question for you guys. Take any one of Jordan's opponents. Who do you have? The 2018 Warriors or the opponent you have in your mind? Who do you have? The 2017 Warriors or the opponent you have in your mind? Who do you have? The 2016 Warriors, the 14 Spurs, the 13 Spurs, the 12 Thunder? The only team you could possibly make an argument for is maybe the 2020 Heat. Maybe. I'd even make an argument that the 2011 Mavericks would take down any one of Jordan's opponents. So when we're looking at, their competition was pretty comparable. No, it wasn't. Even if you want to go off of win totals, that's a moot point because we can't do that since, like I said, lockout season in 2012, COVID season in 2020. And if you want to say, well, talent aside, they were pretty comparable. No, the fuck they weren't. What? Which teams? I could give you two teams that you can maybe debate. There's two teams that you can debate. That's it. Every other team, there's no debate. Thunder, Spurs, Warriors, those three teams, all their rosters. There's not a single one of Jordan's opponents that's taken down those teams. So let's stop it. So in conclusion, okay, 2011 was on Bron. I'm going to give you that, bro. 2014, I'm not going to sit here and say that was fully on Bron. I just don't feel that way, okay? I don't think anyone was beating that Spurs team the way they were playing all year, and I also think that the team as a whole could have stepped up, including Dwayne Wade. I will say that saying that LeBron lost in the first round probably doesn't equally hold up the same as far as, like, Jordan lost in the first round, considering the level of competition, but that's just my opinion. And then as for the DPOY and the trophies and all that, again, my opinion stands. If the DPOY scandal happened with LeBron James, you would never stop talking. I'm not saying you as in you. I'm saying you as in Jordan fans who may agree with what you said would never, ever stop bringing it up. I just feel that way. So thank you for commenting. I want you to understand, I have no disrespect towards you because you did come off respectful. You got a few things wrong, but it's not like, I don't know if you did that purposely. You might have been going off of memory, and by the way you were typing, it seems like you were going off of memory, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and be mad at you or being like, oh, go fuck yourself or nothing like that. You came off respectful, you have LeBron too, and you just have nitpicks, and I just wanted to go to those nitpicks and tell you why I disagree. So, you seem dope. This next person, not so much. Now, this next comment, there's probably not going to be many images on my face, okay? There was a lot for the last one because, again, there was fact-checking, looking over the claims, and showing stats and shit like that. The last person I may disagree with a lot, but at least we're coming at it from a statistical angle. This person is just an idiot, so I don't even know if we're going to do cuts here. We might just one-take this. Let's go. Love how you skipped the microscope part with Bron super team building final run, shaking my head. So I did bring up the fact that LeBron went to different teams and formed very unstoppable teams and had amazing help on the Heat and had good teams that he was able to put together with himself wanted to be there. I just talked about the level of help that he had, considering in some of the final losses that he had, and how Kyrie wasn't there and Kevin Love wasn't there. And when they won the championship. Not only that, Jordan had a super team, my dog. Jordan had a super team, my guy. Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson as a Hall of Fame coach. Like, why are you acting like Jordan never had a super team, my guy? And why are we acting like LeBron's the only one that did it? Again, I brought up the Boston Celtics to fight the narrative that LeBron's the only one that ever formed this type of team. Because that team was formed to stop LeBron. Okay? So, I don't know why you would say that, but let's keep going with your comment. You say, LeBron's numbers took way longer to get. Having to take way longer to beat someone's record isn't impressive. You're right. Having to take longer to breach someone's record isn't impressive. But it is impressive if you take 1,400 shots fewer than the record that you broke. You understand that? Do you get that? Which is more impressive to you? If I told you that someone was 70% from 3 and the other guy was 70% from 3, but person 1 got it done in 2 minutes and person 2 got it done in 10, you're probably going to go with person 1, right? But what if I told you that person 1 got it done in 2 minutes and shot 10 shots and made 7, and person 2 got it done in 10 minutes, shot 70 shots, 100 shots and made 70? You probably would go, damn, person 2 is probably more fucking impressive. LeBron broke Jordan's record with less shots. I don't know why you guys never bring this fact up. You ignore this fact. You always bring up the point that he took him longer games. Who gives a fuck if it took him longer? If he did it in less shots, that means he was more efficient. That means the record was broken at a more efficient rate. Shouldn't that matter? But I guess it doesn't. But let's continue. Context. Yes, context that you ignore. That is context that you ignore, that you refuse to bring up. The fact that LeBron was able to break Jordan's record with 1,400 less shots. Less shots. You don't bring that up. Why don't you bring it up? Because it doesn't work with your narrative, buddy. Next one. None of the players you named for Jordan are better than the help Bron got. I'm sorry. Who are you taking? Anderson Varejao? Drew Gooden? These players were better. You said none of the players. None of the players on Bron's teams was better than Rodman, was better than Kerr, was better than Pippen, was better than... These are all top 75 players, by the way. Like, Grant, what? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This is what I'm talking about right here. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what you're speaking on. Okay? Dennis Rodman said their team was so good, and you pair that with the fact that the league was so watered down, they could close their eyes and win games. And I'm going to destroy your argument with you Jordan fans. I am on the Facebook debate clubs. Okay? I used to debate when I was younger on that shit, but you guys are annoying, so I don't do it anymore. But one debate that's always circled around on the Jordan fan pages, because that's what I call it. They call it the NBA fan page, but we know what it is Michael Jordan's 72-10 team versus the Warriors 73-9 team. And overwhelmingly, you guys said that Jordan team is beating that Warriors team. They can't do nothing with them. That was always it. Every time I saw it and you guys took a vote, it was like 65 to 70% Jordan's team. So question, what the fuck? How do you believe that Jordan's team is better than the 73-9 Warriors team? But you don't think Jordan's team had better players than LeBron's? And not only that, there's people that feel, Jordan fans that will say this, they will say this to you, that Jordan's team is better than that Kevin Durant Golden State team. My brother in Christ, what are you yapping about? What are you talking about? Let's continue. Yeah, I want to pause real quick and just let you guys know. The reason I'm not popping up a bunch of things on my head, because I brought this all up in my video. He's just a fucking crybaby. I promise you he didn't watch the whole thing. I talked about LeBron joining different teams. I talked about LeBron having help. I just brought up the fact that Jordan had help as well, and people want to play like he didn't. This guy just didn't watch my video. I brought up the fact that LeBron took longer to break Jordan's record, but he did it in 1,400 less shots. I brought this all up in my video. He just didn't watch it or didn't care to. So that's why I'm being a dickhead to this guy and not the last one. Because the last one, keep in mind, I disagreed with him a lot. But I showed a lot of pictures, I brought up a lot of things, and we went through his shit. We dissected it, and even though I disagree with him, there's shit we can talk about there. There's no substance with this comment. That's why I'm just leaving it up here for you guys to see. There's no substance here. This guy's just a moron. That's all he is. I'm not trying to be mean, but there's nothing here to fucking debate. He didn't watch my video. He's saying I didn't bring stuff up when I did, and he's sitting there cherry picking shit that fits his own narrative. But let's finish the comment, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time on this dude. Let's finish this. Bron has clear weaknesses as a player, which is why he sucks at free throws, flops, walks off the court before the game is over, and walks on defense. Okay. I'm sorry. Have we never seen Jordan flop? We have compilations of Jordan flopping. You know what? Roll it. Let's let it play. As we can see. Oh, we got Jordan. Oh, shit. Damn. That must have been a hard take. Let's go ahead and look at that replay. Oh, he wasn't even touched. Interesting. Okay, but that had to be, like, the only time he's ever done anything ever. Oh, damn. He must have just fucking hit him with the... Man. See, that's that shadow jutsu right there. I don't know. I'm not mad at Jordan on that one. What are you going to do against shadow jutsu, bro? Okay, here we go. Damn! See, what you guys don't understand is he had a lot of built-up chi. All that built-up chi managed to push Jordan that far back. This guy mastered chi, and there's nothing Jordan could have done here. He just had to fall down that far. Like, that's literally not his fault. Jordan did nothing wrong in this moment. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, right there. What you guys don't understand, he pulled out a bat. Because what you guys gotta know about the 90s is it was extremely intense. See, they hit him with a bat there, too. You just don't see the bat. Watch, they're gonna show it on the replay. Right here. See, the bat's right there. See? Jesus Christ. So there's more AI footage, I guess, of your goat flopping. So there's that. And let's continue. Typical cherry picking from a place of bias, my guy. That is crazy. You guys see that? Typical cherry picking from a place of bias. I'm going to unalive myself. That is insane. Literally just another copy and paste from tryhards that must make these videos to prove what the reality is. The exact opposite. Real One addresses the weaknesses and flaws of both players. I quite literally did. I brought up the 2011 finals. I brought up the fact that every time LeBron failed, he went on to win a championship right after. I brought up that. If you watch the entire video, I brought it up. I said LeBron did not play well here. LeBron did not play here this. LeBron was able to fail and come back up. He is a hero story. He's able to be a player that said he failed and was able to rise back up after a failure. I brought this up. You just didn't care to listen. Or you heard it and you're just coping. You completely ignore all of the propaganda. I'm gonna... I'm gonna bust. Oh my god. Propaganda, yes, I'm so close. I'm edging, please. Say propaganda again, please. Oh my god. It is always comments like this one that will bring up propaganda. Guys, look at this comment. Even if you're a Jordan fan, just look at this comment. Show me where he's bringing up any point of contention where I can grab onto and we can debate. Show me where he's not just insulting and being a nitpicky baby. Show me something. Please, I'm begging you. Show me anything. Because the only thing I'm getting is nothing. I'm not getting shit. Nothing. According to him, I'm a propagandist that didn't bring up half the shit I brought up in my video. If you didn't watch my last video, that's fine. I'll go ahead and put that video at the end of this one. But in my last video, where these comments came from, I brought this up in the entire video. Everything he's crying about, I brought up, except the flopping thing. But we saw that Jordan did it too. Okay. I was excited to hear an actual fair comparison. No, you're not. Shut your dumb ass up. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Don't lie to me. Don't you fucking lie to me. Don't you dare lie to me. Who do you think I'm stupid? You think I'm a dum-dum? You think I'm a dum-dum doo-doo head? What are you talking about? I wanted to hear a fair comparison. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't want to hear a fair comparison. No. Shut up. No. I wanted to hear a fair comparison, my ass. And no, being from Chicago doesn't automatically give you the pass. Nice try, though. So, I said I'm from Chicago. Because I wanted people to know that I'm a Bulls fan first. I didn't use that as a point in comparison on why I think Jordan is trash. Because I said Jordan is too, especially with me being a Chicago fan. I grew up. I said I'm the best person to probably argue this because I know all the Jordan arguments because I grew up a Chicago Bulls fan in Chicago. I just feel, I got a Derrick Rose poster right behind me. I just feel that LeBron James is better all time overall. That is my opinion. But I do think Jordan was an unstoppable force, was amazing, and brought 6 championships to my goddamn city. So, the reason I brought up I'm from Chicago is to show you that if anyone's going to be unbiased about this, it's probably going to be the guy who's a goddamn Bulls fan. But again, I said Jordan was 2. Keep in mind, all this bitching and moaning is because I said Jordan was 2. The last guy, he wasn't bitching, he wasn't crying, he wasn't moaning. He disagreed with me. He had his point in arguments, but the only thing he was saying is that, hey, I have Jordan 1 and LeBron 2. I disagree with you having LeBron 1, and here's why. This guy is like, you propagandist, you're a propagandist, or you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All you're doing is just nitpicking and cherry picking, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you're brainwashed by the media that's controlled by LeBron James and the NBA. LeBron James controls, but somehow he can't control himself to get to the finals. Jesus. But yet, here we are again with it. Yet another. Here's why this guy was only awesome and this guy is only overrated. I'm sorry, humble hurricane. You know what? Let me find out that you commented on anything on Skip. Can I see their subscriptions? I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Am I able to see their subscription? Yeah, I'm not cutting this out. We're doing this live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. I am so curious. I want to go to my video. I want to click on his profile and I want to see. I'm sorry. Can I see your subscriptions? Am I able to see your subscriptions, please? Oh, I can't. I really can't. I'm just curious if you are a Scab Attack fan by any chance? An Uncut Hoops fan by any chance? I'm just curious. I just want to toss that out there. Insane. It is insane that you think I'm attacking Jordan, by the way. I'm not attacking, I'm nitpicking. It's the same thing as the last guy. He was nitpicking LeBron because we're having a GOAT debate. So we got to put one over the other. We both think they're both great. But if we got to have one, and we got to have 2. And if that's going to be the case, you have to nitpick. You have to see why 1 is over 2. That's what we're doing. But no one's attacking. I'm not saying Jordan's trash. I'm saying Jordan's not as good as LeBron. Jordan is still 2. Oh my God. Okay, we're almost done with this section, guys. Oh, he just did the downvote. 6 of you guys liked his comment. 6 of you guys liked that comment. 6 of you guys liked what he said. What did he say? More people liked his comment than... Let me go back. I want to fact check myself because I can't remember off the top of my head. More people liked his comment than the Jordan fan that actually gave analysis. The Jordan fan that actually gave critiques, you guys liked the comment of the guy that was bitching and moaning more. Isn't that indicative a little bit of your fan base when you have a Jordan fan that is sitting here, that is dissecting it, and he may have been wrong on some stats, and I may disagree on some things he said. But he's actually sitting there trying to give a fair argument on why he feels Jordan is to go over LeBron, and he has LeBron second. But you guys didn't like that. You liked the other guy that was bitching and moaning and crying and saying that I didn't bring up stuff that I clearly did bring up in my video. Good job, guys. Good job, Jordan fan base. Great job. All right, let's move on to the last comment. All right, we're going to try to one take these, okay? So what I'm going to do is, instead of replying to line by line, especially as you can see this was a bit longer, we're going to respond to each section so we can get it done a little faster. Maybe get it done in one take, but let's see. Trey, that's me. Jordan beat the 2-time defending champion Pistons and ended their dynasty after dealing with their dirty plays for 3 years in apathetic fashion. He followed that by beating Magic and company in 5, ending the Lakers' dominance with the Lakers having made and won majority of the final appearances in the 80s. He started his own dynasty on the back of effectively ending 2. So first and foremost, I like how we like to discount the fact that Mark Aguirre and Isaiah Thomas were injured when playing the Pistons, and that's the only time Jordan could beat them. Jordan got beaten by them a lot. You want to say it's cheating, but I find it oddly convenient that it's Cheney whenever Jordan loses. Secondly, Magic's Lakers were decimated. Byron Scott was injured with a hamstring, and James Worthy was injured in that series as well. But we don't count that. It seems like every single time, like Kyrie goes down, Kevin Love goes down, we don't care to bring that up. That doesn't matter. We just look at it and say, LeBron lost, he should have won. But when it happens to Jordan, he ended 2 dynasties. Okay. Let's go to the next section. Next, and LeBron's tanking after he left is a result of them allowing to run his heliocentric system, which pads all around stats. Okay. Is it true that, I know I said I was going to go in sections, but we got to call out nonsense. Is it true that LeBron played like a central role in the offenses? That's true. True. But this idea also ignores front office decision and salary cap limitations. Teams often trade away their youth, right, and their picks to go all in while LeBron is there. And when he leaves, they're left in rebuild mode, not because of heliocentrism, but because of poor planning for their future. When LeBron left Cleveland, they had no assets. Back in 2010, they had no assets, they had no cap space, and they had no plan. Same in 2018. That's not his fault. Miami fell off when Wade got older and Chris Bosh got blood clots. The heliocentric myth ignores that LeBron led top 5 offensive multiple years and helped his teammates flourish. So I don't understand where you're even coming from with this. It's kind of fucking infuriating, but it is what it is. It's just simply ignoring like all the context of shit. Again, context gets ignored. And then we go ahead and look at this, right? You talk about LeBron's teams playing bad. Are we going to act like Jordan's team did not win 30 games to get to the playoffs? Come on, brother. Jordan was quite literally the fucking hub of that offense. What are we talking about? Let's continue to comment. The brief time that Jordan had that same system in 88-89, he put up numbers LeBron can only dream of, but it's ultimately not a good system at the top level because if you can slow the system's one player, as the Pistons did somewhat with MJ and the Celtics to a much better degree did with LeBron, then that system struggles because the rest of this team isn't that engaged on offense even if open. There are other examples like Luka and LeBron. It relies too much on one player. LeBron used the only thing that can make that system work. Get so much talent around you that the system doesn't matter. Okay. I'm so confused. Because the way that you're spitting this and the way that you're trying to make this sound together is you're making it sound like LeBron had like zero help, but then he had so much help he had no help. I'm bringing up the fact that when LeBron left, these teams weren't good. And you want to say, well, that's because everything was focused on LeBron. And then that kind of goes to the point that LeBron was so good, then that doesn't matter. LeBron was so good, and that's why they did bad. But then you want to go back to the point of he actually filled up his entire team with just unstoppable talent. And when he wasn't there, they didn't play as good. This is all over the place. These type of arguments is what I like to call word salad arguments. You guys may look at this comment, and you may look at this comment and think it's similar to this guy's comment. It's not. And here's why. Because the difference between this guy's comment and this guy's comment is that this guy's comment actually has genuine criticism and is bringing up points that are real. Okay? He may have gotten a couple stats wrong, but he's bringing up points that do exist. He's bringing up facts that are real, and he's talking about why he feels a certain way. This guy is throwing a shit ton of words, probably off of GBT, and forming it together to form a incoherent argument on why a system that is heliocentric but not really heliocentric didn't work for LeBron, didn't work for Jordan, and that's why LeBron's teams tanked at the end when he left, because it was so heliocentric, even though he had the help. So was it heliocentric or not? I don't even. Let's continue. He said, it's ultimately not a good system at the top level because if you could slow the system's one player, as we talked about that. He said, LeBron used the only thing that he can make the system work. He got so much talent around him that it doesn't matter. LeBron never sacrificed his stats like Jordan did to run the triangle. What? That's just an incoherent statement all in itself. How can you say that LeBron James never sacrificed his stats in order for his team to prosper? You guys literally say he passes too much. You literally say he passes too much. In Cleveland, though, he was pass first. In Miami, he was an off-ball cutter. And then in LA, he was more of a point forward. I can point to you times in LeBron's career and what he did and what he didn't do. You think he didn't say, you're really going to tell me that LeBron James couldn't go for 50 if he wanted to? I can't even fight this argument because I don't know what I can show you. I can only just try to tell you what I just said, that Bron was a pass first guy in Cleveland. He played it like an off-ball cutter in Miami, and then in LA he was a point forward. I mean, I don't know what I can argue here. Okay? He adapted his styles more than once. He adapted his styles. And not only that, no. Fuck you. No. Jordan didn't sacrifice his stats because he still led the league in usage rate and scoring almost every year. What? Bro, he demanded that the offense run through him so much that he punched Steve Kerr. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? All right, let's continue your comment. He has simply jumped from team to team, stacked them, then left when he felt like he could stack another team better. Essentially bringing up 93-94 Bulls, winning 55 games while ignoring that they were reloaded since Jordan that year. Okay, first of all, what the fuck are you talking about? The Bulls still had Pippen, Kukoc, Grant, and Phil Jackson. And they were eliminated in the second round. So I'm not even sure what the hell you're speaking on. They fell to 500 the next season, but they still had their primary core, which is what matters. Every team goes out and picks up pieces and loses pieces in the following seasons, but to act like they just completely revamped their team is not true. Their core was still together. That's just wrong. Again, I'm starting to feel suspicious that you didn't even build this argument. I'm starting to feel extremely suspicious that this is not even your words. Because it's a whole lot of word salad. It's a whole lot of bullshit that to any like basketball fan is incomprehensible. How are you going to say that they revamped their team? They kept their core. And how are you going to talk about heliocentric with Jordan and LeBron and then say that Jordan sacrificed his stats? He led in usage rate and scoring every year. Or most years. And how are you going to sit there and say that LeBron's heliocentric shit is the reason they lost, but then turn around and say, really, he didn't have help, he had help? Like, I'm starting to feel like this is AI. I'm getting that feeling. One thing I want you guys to truly understand, right, is when it comes to any type of AI and shit like that, it is hard for it to make genuine arguments on genuine things when we're speaking on sports. It's hard for it to really do that. And the reason for that being is because a lot of these sports arguments are subjective. I feel LeBron's one. But there's someone out there in the world that feels John Stockton is one. And he has a fucking mountain of evidence why he feels that way. These are subjective arguments. These AI systems are really good. Really, 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 really good for using factual arguments. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying that there's so many words here. There's so many words here, and a lot of them suspiciously just don't make sense. But we'll continue. Jordan came back in the lottery, and furthermore, how well did LeBron's system? Furthermore, my guy. You say furthermore. This might be an old guy, so I might just be hating. But that's interesting. That's all I got to say. That's interesting. Furthermore, how well did LeBron's system work before AD got to LA? Suspiciously not well enough. LeBron still had a nice young core around him at the time. See, this is what I'm talking about. Doesn't that sound a little bit suspicious to you guys? LeBron had a good young core around him. LeBron's good young core was going nowhere. LeBron's good young core haven't sniffed the playoffs. What are we talking about? Like, anyone who knows this, because if I look up Julius Randle, if I look up Julius Randle, Lonzo Ball, I look up the players from that team, Kyle Kuzma, shit like that. I look up the players from that team, right? And I look up how they're played in the future, and you bring them back to the past, I would say that's a great team. But at that time, they weren't that good. That's why they left. That's why they got traded. And they continue to not be good. It's the reason the Knicks got rid of Randall as of recently to go to the Timberwolves. And now he's playing great in the playoffs. But again, I just find that interesting. A good young core. I don't even think Laker fans would agree with you on that one. What are we... Okay. Furthermore. You like the word furthermore. I want to point that out. I just find that weird. I don't even use furthermore in my essays. Like that. When I make essays, I try to be as fucking poetic as possible because I want to make it sound as educational as possible, as fucking nerd as possible. But no, I want to sound as analytical, poetic, and educational as possible. So I'll use these words from time to time, especially when I'm sitting here and actually typing out these paragraphs and shit like that. I want to spice up the language. And I also got a little bit of a speech impediment. It helps to sound out longer words for me. As you guys can hear, I fuck up at times when I'm reading my essay live. And I try to do it in one take, which is hard to do. And I end up fucking up. So I like using bigger words at times. It helps me like enunciate and be able to keep going, even though I mess up at times. But yeah, I've been in speech therapy since I was like younger. I've been better as the years have gone on. But yeah, I had a speech impediment. It's a little bit about me. It's a little bit that the Jordan fans can use against me now. But he made them an historically weak Eastern Conference while his rival was Paul Pierce-led Pacers. Can we be done? We're done with this comment, right? Can I stop the video? Can we stop? Can we stop? Do I have to keep going? Can we stop? I can stop, right? I can stop, right? I don't have to keep going. I don't have to keep going. Oh, this is going to be fun in editing. I'm going to get fucking... I'm going to try to edit Paul Pierce into a Pacers jersey. Yes, as everyone knows, the legendary Pacer, Paul Pierce. And before you guys, who are Jordan fans, start going, oh, shut up, bro. Maybe he's just a mistype. It happens. He just had a brain fart. He sat here. First of all, no one speaks like this clearly and coherently all at once. When I'm typing you guys a comment, I do have spell check on my phone. When I type you guys a comment, it will look like scribblish. There'll be words that I should be able to easily spell that are misspelled because I'm typing extremely fast. Then I'll go back in there. I'll use my spell check. And guess what? I got the Grammarly app on my phone, dog. I dare you guys to download that. It's pretty good. I use it for emails. I use it for texting. This is not an ad. I'm never going to get an ad. Maybe I will one day. But I'm just saying, Grammarly. There you go. Grammarly, if you want to sponsor me. But I go back. I use my Grammarly add-on. And I'll go back and fix my grammar. Add some commas. Add some periods. Chop up my sentences. Make it look nice. But when I'm doing that, I'm reading what I just wrote. I'm not writing one take like this. You guys want me to believe he wrote this well, had perfectly placed periods, parentheses, commas, quotations, but he just had a brain fart when it came to the Paul Pierce-led Pacers? Right. And I'm a white man named Jeffrey with a credit score of 850. Let's continue. Who he beat with a super team advantage. He should win in that scenario. He didn't face the bad boy Pistons. He didn't face the Knicks. The Knicks. Brother, didn't the Knicks win like 40 games that season? If I'm not mistaken. Excuse me? The Knicks. Jesus. I'm gonna have to look that up, and if I am right about that, because I'm going off the top of my head right now as I'm looking at my screen, because the only thing I got up is just LeBron stats, Jordan stats, and team stats, but I'm pretty sure the Knicks were not that good. I don't want to waste time by looking it up. I will look it up in post, and if the Knicks were not that good, you're gonna see the picture right here, or right here. The Knicks. Interesting. The Knicks. Where are we? He didn't face the Shaq, Penny, Magic, Reggie's Pacers, or the Zoe, Tim Hardaway Heat. He faced Paul Pierce. That's all he faced was Paul Pierce. This is what I'm saying. Again, I don't like accusing people of using like AI and shit like that, but AI leaves out context. AI would be the only thing to tell you that LeBron didn't face a team that had DeMar DeRozan on it and Kyle Lowry. LeBron didn't face a team that had MVP Derrick Rose with Joakim Noah, Captain Kirk, that's my boy, and Tom Thibodeau, Taj Gibson, that whole lineup being dogs. It wouldn't talk about the number one defense. Was this in 2012? 2012. The number one defense Pacers that had Paul George, Roy Hibbert. Damn it, there goes my speech impediment. Roy Hibbert in a deep ass bench. It wouldn't bring all this up. It would just, because AI's not looking to give you a very well-educated ball knowledge argument. It's looking to give you just an argument to use that's best in your case scenario. So yeah, it would make sense that the Paul Pierce-led Pacers would be the only team he brought up. And keep in mind, not the Pacers, but that Celtics team didn't just have Paul Pierce, you know. They had Rondo, they had Allen, they had KG. Bro, what are we talking about? There's plenty more I can point out, but I'll add a comment on the Curry Durant Warriors. I am so curious. They were a CP3 injury away from the losing to the Rockets in 2017-18. Bro, I can use this argument for any fucking thing. Are you kidding me? LeBron's team was a Kyrie and Kevin Love injury away from beating that Warriors team. Are you kidding me? LeBron's team, back when they were going to run it back for the championship and he got injured by Solomon Hill, was a less injury away from maybe running it back with that same squad. We can play what ifs all day if you want to, but that doesn't matter. Injuries are part of the game, doggy. That's part of the game. And it sucks. It sucks when it happens, and it definitely sucks when it happens to your team. But it happens. It happens. You don't let him off the hook when he loses, but you're going to put him on the hook when another team wins? Okay? And they almost lost to the Rockets. So what? They didn't. They ended up facing the Cavs, who were undermatched, and won. I don't understand you, brother. They got lucky. They mopped LeBron's Cavs via sweep in the finals after beating them 4-1 the year before. This is why I'm accusing this guy of AI. We pointed out a few decent reasons, a few good reasons that I think you guys can kind of sit there and go, But another reason that I want to bring up is because if I'm making an essay, which I do, I would say this. They got lucky. I wouldn't say they got lucky, but I would say they mopped LeBron's Cavs via sweep in the finals. We know it's a sweep. Why did you say via sweep? I would say something like, I don't know if I would say via, but I might start doing that. I like it. Short and sweet. But they mopped LeBron's Cavs via sweep in the finals after beating them 4-1 the year before. We know that they got beaten 4-1 the year before. Why are you wording it like this? This just feels weird. It's like you're breaking down history for us that we already know, and the way you're breaking it down just feels like way too informative. Like you're speaking to a class. That's why it's weird. When I make my essay, it makes sense to sound like this. It makes sense to use furthermore. It makes sense to use history and being like, oh, last year, this is what the Warriors did, and this year they did. It makes sense to use all this language. It doesn't make sense to use it here in the comment section. And like I said, the Pacers, the Paul Pierce-led Pacers is killing me. Okay, your GOAT won 1 game in 2 series. The Harden-led Rockets won 3 and 1. Okay, who cares? They lost. Basically, the Warriors were a great team, but their GOAT team case is vastly overstated. Says fucking who? Okay, they got pushed to 7. They still won. And not only that, now we're gonna say that the Warriors were not that good. Do you guys own him? Do you guys own him? Jordan fans, do you guys stand by him? 2 of you liked his comment. Clearly 2 of you stand by him. You guys stand by this? He's down talking the Kevin Durant led Warriors team. Is that do you guys fuck with that? Curious. And LeBron making it to the finals in the Eastern Conference was expected. Some of his brutal losses when he got there were not. So this guy's either really old, I'll give him that, or he used an AI, because this was extremely just uneducated on ball knowledge whatsoever. We talk about LeBron James, okay? He beat at least one 50-win team every single year. While Jordan beat what? Didn't he face like a total of just 2 60-win teams in the East during his title runs? He faced sub-500 teams in multiple first rounds. Sub-500 teams, multiple first rounds. Like, what are we talking about, doggy? Were you speaking on dog? And the Eastern Conference will always be annoying to me. I already told you guys the teams that Bron had to face, from the Bulls to the Raptors to the Celtics to the Pacers. He faced some good-ass teams. And even the Knicks, right? Still a good team. He faced some good teams. But, I don't know. I guess we just don't count that, because these squads were built. These squads, don't sit there. I got rows on my wall. Don't you fucking tell me that Bulls team was not good. We were. But you want to sit there and act like that Bulls team was just trash. That MVP Derrick Rose-led Bulls team was trash. That Pacers team was trash. That Celtic team was trash. They're all just trash. Right. Fuck out of here. Listen. Let's wrap this up. I will respond to comments at times like this. I was going to drop a Scap Attack video on this day this is dropped, but I decided why not respond to the comments in my comment section. I think you guys are funny. I think you guys are cool. But I think you guys are kooky. When it comes to these comments, I just feel like you guys don't want to debate me because you don't really want to back up your shit, and you probably know that you can't. That's probably the honest opinion of it all. You probably know that you can't. You probably know that you would look extremely silly even trying to do so. But, hey, I welcome you to try. I'm going to put my Discord back up one more time. If you guys want to come in to debate me, please do. And we can go ahead and set up a time. We can set up topics. We can talk about the topics you want to talk about. We can set up a time that works best for both of us, and we can go ahead and debate. I like to respond to these comments in video format like this because this took forever to do. I want you guys to understand, from recording this to setting all the things up to looking at stats to making sure I fact check to going ahead and editing that you guys are probably going to see post this. It takes a lot of time to make a video like this. And I honestly could go to the comments section and just go back and forth and back and forth. But the reason I make it in video format is because most of the time, they're not going to respond to my comment. The only person that probably would respond is the commenter that I brought up before. I'm going to put him on the screen again. He probably would respond, and I feel like me and him could have a healthy back and forth. But the other guys are either not going to respond, not care to respond, or they're just going to respond with insults. And it means nothing. It's not going to do anything because the 6 people that like this guy's comment is not going to see it, and they're not going to care. They're just going to walk away thinking he's goated for saying the nonsensical shit he said. And the 2 people liking this guy comment is not going to care. They're just going to think he's a real educated man that spoke a lot of nonsensical shit on the screen. So the reason I like making these in video format is because, 1, I don't like going back and forth with comments. They either never go anywhere or they lead to nothing. And 2, because I'm able to actually show you guys why the comment you guys are liking probably isn't as educated as you guys think it is, or kind of isn't much of a burn as you guys want it to be. But until next time, friends, if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. I make video essays, I make call-outs like this, and I make reactions, okay? I'm trying to make as much quality. I'm trying to make as much quality over quantity content as I can, and hopefully over time you guys enjoy it. But until next time, I love you. Talk to you later, friends. See ya, and